Ladies and gentlemen, he is here. He is, we call him Maxx, the movie maker.
Maxx.
Hey, y'all doing? What's
Yes.
up,
Hey.
Coco?
Good morning, Maxx.
All right, so get right in the middle of that mic.
Hey, Angie, what's going on?
What's
There
up?
you go.
Hey.
Tell us what you've been doing since we've seen you last.
I've been working. I've been working. The movie has come out on Tubi, Uncle Roommate. Last time
Which
I was
is crazy.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Okay.
It wasn't out yet. We
Yeah.
were just talking with the cast. I did the premiere at MJR
Right.
at that point.
And how did it all go? And where are we with the movie Uncle Roommate?
I end up getting with Homestead with Dennis Reed and distributing through him. And Uncle Roommate is doing amazing, actually.
Great.
Getting people from all over the world hitting me with the certain lines from the movie and stuff like that.
Wow.
It'd be iconic when you look at it like, man, we alive and we constantly putting in work, putting out content, and for people to keep liking it, I'm gonna keep doing it.
For those who are listening for the first time, give them your platforms and run down each movie you have.
I have 4 feature films out right now on Tubi and Amazon Prime. My Hitters 2, a musical called The Noise and Music.
Wow,
and
okay.
the latest one, a comedy called Uncle Roommate.
Yeah.
I got Jay Will, Fanboy AJ, Big Shorty, Toy Too Tall. I got Buddy Love.
Okay.
Comedian D Pounds, the lead. He played the lead.
Yep. We talked to him when he was here.
Monty Shirley. I had a lot of people in the movie, and they did amazing, honestly. And I like to get new people, fresh faces for new movies. I don't like to kind of go
Right.
and use, a lot of the same
Yeah. And it's interesting, Maxx, because you need to do an auntie roommate, and we'll talk about that. We'll negotiate that. Because all uncles got an auntie. They got a wife or somebody that's auntie. And the second part is
Imagine Coco being in your house.
Listen. So I've noticed that a lot of people that are doing movies are using comedians. And this is something I had this conversation years ago at the airport with my man that played in Dukes of Hazzard, the blonde hair one. And I'm at LAX on my way back home. He was like, I know who you are. I'm like, I know who you are too. I'm trying to flirt, right? And he went on to say, you're a comedian, blah, blah, blah. We just started talking about acting and all that. He said the interesting part is, and there's been a few actors that tell me that, when you get a comedian and you hand them a script, the creativity is off the chain.
Right.
Because we could go through a litany of emotions, because we could be sad, happy, funny, and all of that. And when you deal with somebody that's a serious actor, it's hard for them to be funny because it seems forced and canned and all of
That's a
that.
good point.
So that's why you see a lot of comedians that are doing movies, and there are comedies, but we can shift gears real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
That's beautiful.
Shout out to Auntie
Richard Pryor
Auntie
was
roommate.
very good at that.
Yeah, Auntie roommate.
Good point. That
Boy,
sound like a good idea, too.
Pryor was just magnificent doing that. I thought about his movie as we get ready for the Grand Prix, Grease Lightning.
Yeah.
And then he did Which Way Is Up with our
Which
friend.
way is up?
That's hot.
As well.
And then like
man.
Martin, you remember they came out with like a movie back in the day, and all the comedians was in it. Like Debo was in it.
Yes.
Martin, John
Cheryl
Witherspoon.
Underwood. Yes.
I
yes.
was thinking in my head when I did Uncle Roommate, I was like, I don't just want to get like a couple of comedians like how people usually do here. I wanted like a sleuth of the comedians.
Okay.
So now every character you see, you getting real funny from these people, and they ain't got, like she said, you don't have to force it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
it's
nothing forced
creative.
in that movie.
What's the hardest thing for you to do? Almost challenging, because none of it's hard because you do it all.
The most challenging thing more so is when you get to the last few days of filming. Just keeping everybody with that upbeat so they stay in these keep the energy on them characters. Because they can have like such a high energy with the characters in them last few days of filming. They tired, or you know what I'm saying, or something like that, and food can't help them or nothing. Like, so I got to get them back in that. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? This the last few days. This movie lasts forever. You don't want to look like that on the last few days forever.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I kind of remind them like this. They seeing you. This ain't never coming down.
So your imagination is on a high pitch at all times.
I have to. I ask God for a certain energy when I'm even doing the movies, period, just because you have to. You everybody's psychiatrist, you father, you you all type of stuff on them sets. I'm brother, uncle. I'm playing different roles for people in their life just to get them to, do this movie and make sure everything is straight.
The movie I saw all the way through was Uncle Roommate, which you had a nice part in. Did you appear in your other movies? And if so, which one?
I actually starred in all of my movies because my whole premise with even doing the movies, because I did music. I'm rap, sing, I produced the music. So I was like, what's a way for me to be seen outside of music videos and just going to doing shows? I'm about to do a movie. And of course, all my friends was basically like, you can't do a movie, you ain't got no experience in that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't never went to school to use the cameras or none of that. But I was already shooting my music videos on my own. They didn't know that I was editing the content too. So I was like, man, I'm about to do a movie. Like, I don't really care what y'all saying. I took my kids, my daughter. I like put my daughter on the audio, put my stepson on. He had the camera. So I really just started using cousins, all type of just family. Like, hey, I need you to hold the lights for this one scene. And they was doing it. They was like, bro, you shooting a movie, bro. I'm gonna help you, but you know what I'm saying? And then at the end, when it got to the premiere, they're like, you really premiering the movie? And then when they seen it, nobody really knew it was gonna be like how it was.
You had no movies out. I'm eavesdropping on a conversation, being nosy. You were talking to someone I knew who had you on speaker, who just totally ignored me. He didn't care if I was there or not. You were one, out of money. 2, trying to write a script. 3, you were babysitting your own children, which isn't really babysitting, but you were watching your kids out of money, trying to write, and you did it anyway.
And just had lost my job from falling asleep in the closet because I had left a scene.
Hold on.
3
no.
that morning.
No. It's only one other person I knew fell asleep in the closet, and he was an orderly that worked with me. That's why I was calling, checking on the phone.
Nice and quiet.
How'd
that happen?
Please.
Set that scene for
We
us.
had a scene, it was like a scene. It wasn't even supposed to be that late, but sometimes if the actors ain't getting it right, we got to keep doing this over and over. So I ain't leave the set probably about 3:30, 4, because I got to pack up everything. So
You're to be at work at what time?
Like 7. I had to be like 6:30.
So you're packing up 3:30, 3:45 in the
Get to the
morning.
house, get in the shower, getting right back to work. So I did the job though. It was just like, let me do the job and just go try to see if I could sleep a little bit, because I got to leave the job and go right back to another scene.
Obviously, you didn't wake up.
Nah, I didn't. They ended up firing me.
How'd they find you?
It was a guy. He was watching me. You know what I'm saying?
Snitched.
Yeah, he snitched. He ratted on me. Said he's 6'9" on me. It's cool. But I didn't need that job anyway, as far as like for what I was doing. Like when you really got something that you're going after, sometimes the job ain't really in the forecast.
So he was really a helper. He was an angel.
Yeah,
he really was an angel.
I wasn't even mad that he told. I'm like, man, I'm asleep. I'm like, I just left a set. And he was like, yeah, but you're not supposed to be sleeping. I'm like, you act like this a hospital. I was working at what's the place that all of the sewer water go to downtown?
Yep, there, right there. Yep, I know you're talking about.
The Great Lakes Sewer.
Gleewald, whatever they call it, yeah.
I was working the Dookie. They call it the Dookie Island.
Yeah.
That's where all the doo go. So I was working there. So he basically was doing that, and I'm like, bro, I done cleaned up. There ain't number of offices in there. They was just doing too much.
That's amazing. The one moment through all of this that happened to you and you said, oh, I gotta keep going now. What happened? Where were you?
You know what gave me that right there? Like actors. And I say actors and actresses because a lot of these people who I put in these movies weren't actors and actresses before I put them in it. So I basically started a platform for them that they didn't even know that they can do. So now a lot of them are pursuing it. You know what I'm saying?
You get off on that.
Yeah, I like that. That's like somebody basically writing a rap for me and like, I'm gonna get you started with rap, and I start rapping, and I'm rapping for 20 years. So
that juices you.
Yeah, I like that.
So what was your first movie? Which one was the first one?
My first movies was kind of violent. My Hitters one was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew, because I had the Noise and Music wrote before My Hitters.
But let's go back to Hitters, because I didn't really know you.
And
But
neither did I.
right,
Yeah, I got my story.
Right,
about
I
my
didn't know
hitters.
you, and this is, I think it was on Tubi, right? Okay, so like I'm experiencing Tubi for the first time, and I'm like, okay, this is from the dig. It's called My Hitters. I'm like, it's not gonna be no real kind of movie, you know. So I started watching it. I was like, shit. I kept watching it. I was like, this is a good storyline. This is a good plot. And I was like into this movie, and then it was over. And then I saw a promo that said, what? Hitter?
My hitters too.
My Hitters too.
Yeah,
So because you was so good in your first movie, you caught me. So I couldn't wait
Because then we interviewed.
to see two. Right, but I didn't. It was just the way you write for that to be your first movie. I was like, dang, and that was real Detroit.
Yeah.
The way you wrote that. Like, I was like, this is, I mean, it just, you took me on some twists and turns because I write. So when someone can take me somewhere where I didn't know I was going to go, that is what impressed me
So
about
Coco,
you.
I'm in a
Yes.
I'm in a restaurant, not like a Coney Island, and somebody see me, they recognize me, and they go, "Hey, Mason, da 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 da." This street girl jumps up, "You Mason?" Like, whoa, what I do?
He said,
I went, yeah. She said, "And you didn't know about My Hitters too?" I mean, she went off on me. I was so delighted. I'm like, go ahead. What? And I wanted her to just keep going. She went off on me like, do you own a television? I mean, that's how she went
Wow.
off on me. Like, where do you come from? Where do you live? You never seen My Hitters too? And she was talking about two.
And I knew that violent content would work more so than.
But it had to be
yeah,
a good
you had
movie.
violent content, but you
Because
had wisdom in it too.
A lot of people
you
got
feel me?
violent
Street
content.
wisdom.
I commercialized it though.
Okay.
If you really look at My Hitters, like
That's business.
I made every character to where it was like you would want to follow every character's story.
Yeah, Okay. serious. I'm Okay. telling you, like
So it was
I
a-
didn't know him personally, but I knew it was from Detroit. And anything from Detroit that looks good that I know that the world is going to watch, I'm impressed with when they produce something of quality. And so I couldn't wait for Hitters 2. But then I want to say, I again was in I had my Fire Stick, so I was in the Tubi world, okay, and it was like on Tubi. They say what's coming, what you should watch. Every time you click on your stuff, what they recommend you should watch. What came up? Noise. What's your
The noise and music.
came up
That's
like
the
a
new
big.
one. The second one.
Yeah.
Third.
The third, but my point is, Hulu, whoever that company is,
Hulu.
puts his movies up first
For promo.
for promo.
Yeah.
Now I don't know because we're in
Because they're
Detroit
good. No,
or
because
what,
they're good.
but because they're good.
promotes
It
the
depends on
network.
the type of the movies you watch. Like,
I'm
it
a
kinda
gangster,
goes-
so yeah. Okay.
So
I mean,
it
I
kinda-
mean it like that.
It's an algorithm that Tubi kind of puts
Yeah.
you into. Because you may have watched some of my other films, it'll have my film, my newer films, and like your recommended.
How did you learn what to do? See, when you came along, by the time I met you, there weren't a lot of people from here doing Tubi. They had made gas station movies for DVD. They had not gone to the streaming companies.
No, like
you went to the streaming
the only
companies. How
ones
does that
who
happen?
Was like on Tubi at that time was like Dennis Reed. I know the Bad Girls. Will, I forgot. I don't know Will's whole name, but he a filmmaker from here. He got the Bad Girls 2. He had one on there. Pawn Shop was on there. It was only like a few. It wasn't a lot. You know what I'm saying?
You're not talking about Will Packer, are you?
Packer. No, not Packer.
Okay.
Pawn Shop is what Foolish was. in.
Foolish was in Pawn Shop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Foolish Kool-Aid, Crystal P.
Yeah, It wasn't that many. When I got, and My Hitters wasn't even. I had My Hitters on YouTube. Like when I did the movie, I put all that money into it. It wasn't no Tubi and Amazon Prime in my head. You know, I didn't know about those spaces, so it was more so like, all right, let me just put it on YouTube and see what it do, and then it ended up going viral on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yeah, so it had like My Hitters 1 had got to like 6 million views, and I had put 2 out, and 2 had got to like 1 million, and they took the content down.
Okay.
Because they was reporting it because they said kids was watching this content that was violent.
Right.
So this is when I'm kind of responsible for YouTube changing the rules. You know, like they changed the content rules after that. Now
Sure.
where you had
Amazing.
where you had to put like if it's for kids or not. And I was wondering, like, they took my whole page down for that. I had like, 50, 60,000 subscribers.
That's amazing.
But it was cool because like somebody came to me like, your movie had a lot of views. Did you try to get distribution for it? I'm like, yeah, for sure. So Cherry ended up getting me to The guy at One Shot, Curtis Boss, he got a few movies on there, and he got me distribution through Andy Rice.
Real quick before I go in.
I know, yeah, we gotta go, but just the wisdom and the way you write your scripts. Again, Noise in the Music. You learned about the Detroit music. You learn the behind the scenes. You learn what your characters go through. The depth of your writing. I'm telling you, because I write, so I'm very impressed with you. But that's why you get so many views and people are loving your work, because your whole package is. I think Detroit is such a mysterious place. So if you can kind of live in that world for a minute, and the way you bring theater of the mind to life is phenomenal. So I applaud you. I love your work.
What will we see next from you, Maxx?
I got some good stuff coming.
Auntie Roommate.
Auntie Roommate. There we go.
Get into an example.
Look, Coco, like Uncle Roommate do got a continuation. What I'm trying to do is turn Uncle Roommate into a series.
That sounds
I'm trying
like
to go
it.
to like NBC or something like that for it. Like make it a little cleaner, of course.
How can people see your movies?
You go on Tubi or Amazon Prime. You can just put my real name in, Kevin Caldwell.
Okay.
All my films will pop up. I got like
I'm gonna do that today. I'm gonna go home, get me some fish, and
go to
home.
Google.
You're gonna love it.
So go to Google, right?
You can just go to Google and you can just type in Kevin Max Payne Caldwell or my hitters or anything. All my movies gonna come
Then
up.
everything will come up.
One.
Maxx, thanks for spending some time with us again today.
Yes.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it too.
man. Always
And
appreciate
thank
We
you for
appreciate
working
you.
in excellence and representing the D
Thank you
correctly.
so much. I got an
Period.
album coming too, Mason.
Oh, yeah?
A musical album. You know, music is my passion and reality. Film is just something I got into. I like the difficulty of film.
You keep saying it. This is where he and I have an argument all the time. He keeps saying he does music. I said, you do movies.
He could do both.
No, he does. Oh, no doubt. He does both.
Music is such a passionate thing for me, though. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Watch this. This is a shameless plug. You know, Auntie Roommate could sing too. You know, you.
That's all we know.
I gotta have Coco and Uncle Ron.
You gotta do it. Maxx, thanks again, man.
Appreciate y'all.
No,
Lots
really,
of love to you.
congratulations.
Continued
For real.
success.
Like, yes.
So much.
Maxx, the
real
movie
deal.
maker.
Yeah.